Hi, my name is Nicole Cummings Lewis. Welcome to my collaborative partnership between United Way for Greater Austin and Spark Equity in Action. The goal of this partnership or the collaboration is to create sustainable and equitable practices for the organization's infrastructure, the human capital department, and the diversity, equity, and inclusion department. And this work is done through a lens of equity. In this documentary, we're going to explore the scope of this work. First, we're going to start with our stakeholders, then we'll move to the vision setting, and then explore the various solutions that we propose. After that, we're going to chat about how the partners were organized to collaborate in this effort. And finally, we'll look at the expected outcomes and measures of this work. Before I jump into this journey, I want to give you a little background about the need for this partnership and how I support the work. My official role at United Way is the Equity Coalition Manager, but I serve as the co-chair of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee as well. It is in this role that I have the privilege to support this partnership with Spark Equity in Action across our organization. Rachel, the founder of Spark, and Jai, one of Spark's facilitators, help myself and Jordan, our other co-chair, to facilitate our DEI committee meetings and to facilitate work with our lead team at the organizational level through the lens of equity. Our organization is committed to taking a stance around challenging ourselves to infuse the work through the lens of DEI. And you can see our commitment here on the right side of the screen. So what you see here is the scope of our partnership. We have two big buckets, which is the Human Capital Department Sustainability and the DEI Committee Sustainability. On the Human Capital side, our goal is to hire a new HC director, to onboard that director and give her or him or they various buckets that we are able to do this lens of work with, and then for the DEI Committee to support with level of independence, to give the Human Capital Department a level of independence without Spark being present. Some of those buckets for the new director are going to be the career ladder, policy and procedure audits, being in the DEI leadership space, and organizational charting, also our hiring and onboarding process as well. On the DEI committee sustainability side, we are looking for having a better strategic plan for our co-chairs so that we have a level of independence from Spark, internal accountability, internal DEI consultations, and external programming. Those are our focuses. Please allow me to introduce you to our stakeholders. Our key stakeholders are Spark Equity in Action and David Smith, who's our CEO. Then we have our primary stakeholders, which are myself and Jordan, the two co-chairs. Lastly, we have our secondary stakeholders, which is our organization, both internally and the external community. Our vision is to establish current HC systems with an equity lens, creating sustainability, and then to establish sustainable practices for our DEI committee. We have four main solutions, but two that I would like to highlight are that of allowing for our HC director to join our DEI committee as part of her onboarding to ensure that we have that legal lens, and then also creating signed agreements for the DEI chairs to further support with HC policies and confidential practices that we might otherwise not have access to. So a few ways that we can make sure that this is practical and it's organized to get it all done is to streamline our calendars with the Spark and DEI co-chairs, making sure that we're adding our HC director to existing meetings, schedule out committee meetings for the fiscal year of 2022 through 2023, and then to schedule out the lead team meetings for fiscal year as well. The DEI co-chairs do attend those meetings once a month, and we're able to collaborate with them in that way. So here are our outcomes. One is that we have a full 20-person DEI committee so that we can scale the work. Right now, it's less than that, and capacity is rough. We also desire to make sure that we have our human capital director hired and fully on board with the above buckets or the previous buckets that you've seen. We also want to make sure that we have a new agreement signed with Spark so we know what it looks like to scaffold off their support and move into sustainability. We definitely need job descriptions for the DEI co-chairs. There's a lot that we do, and we want to make sure that we're being sustainable in our work as well. And then implement our strategic plan across the organization to scale. And the last thing would be an audit from Spark so that we know how well we're doing and if human capital, the lead team, and the DEI committee are on track. You have made it to the end. Overall, the big goal and the impact of this collaborative partnership is that United Way ATA can become an organization that lives, breathes, and exemplifies what it means to have the DEI lens infused into their existence internally and externally without the support of an external organization leading this work.